So it's currently May 24th and the weather is getting a lot warmer. The temperature outside right now is 21 degrees. And to be honest, we were outside, my girlfriend and I, for pretty much the whole day yesterday. And we went on a bike ride, we played outside, we did all of the summer activities, if you want to call it that. And we noticed a lot more people outside also. And and rightfully so, because the weather is getting nice. People are getting excited because people are getting fidgety, and they're from being inside. We haven't had any decent weather until like 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure last Saturday it was pretty good, and then I'm pretty sure on Sunday it rained. And now yesterday it was like 25 degrees and now it's 21 outside. So people want to go outside, right? Like, there's no way around that. People want to go outside because they're bored of being stuck inside in quarantine, or whatever you want to call it. And basically what happened is the provincial government of Ontario, they put out a plan. They call it the reopening plan, of how they're basically going to reopen the province. And first of all, let me just say that I totally understand that the economy has to be restarted. I totally get it. I get that, everybody has bills to pay, like including myself. Everybody does. But I still think at this moment in time, it is too early for people to be going to golf courses. Now, you can make the case and you can tell me that, people can social distance on, like, while they're playing golf, and all those other types of things. But I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see the point of golf courses being open. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me, right? Because basically this is what happened, right? So the curve was high, right? We were experiencing 400 new cases per day. Then it would be like 390. Then it would be like 410. Then it would be like 430. So basically what happened was, I'm pretty sure it was probably like February, March, April. The curve was still going up, right? Then over the past, I would say probably month or so, because we're about to go into June here. Yeah, so it's basically the end of May. We're about to go into June. And basically what happened was, I saw something on my phone about it, and it said the province saw positive signs of declining case growth at the beginning of this month, when the daily case count dipped down to 294 on May 9th, right? So basically it was going up, right? And then it was kind of going along, right? It was like 350 a day, 360, or 340, whatever it was. And then it went down to 294 on May 9th. And that's basically what happened. And then I feel like everybody just said, oh, okay, quarantine's done, it's 294, like, we're good, we don't have to do anything else, like, we can just reopen and this and that. And then obviously, with everybody getting excited and going outside, it went back up. I'll tell you right now. The province's epidemiological summary released Sunday, which provides data from the previous data, confirmed that there were 460 new cases of the virus on Saturday, up from 412 on Friday and 441 on Thursday. So it went 441, then it dipped slightly down to 412, and then it went back up to 460. So what does that tell you? That tells you that it was too early. We already learned from the Spanish flu. It was the same thing. It was like, what was it, 1916 or 1918 or something like that? So allegedly, the Spanish flu, the first wave, like, it killed 3 to 5 million people. Now, I don't know how accurate this is. Like, I'm not an expert. I'm not anything like that. This is just from the internet. This is just what I'm seeing. I'm not saying, that you should believe it and these are the exact numbers. And, really and truly, I don't think anything can ever be exact when it comes to something like this on a global scale. Because, if you think about less developed regions, like, say, the continent of Africa, they don't have the technology that we do, and they don't have the resources that we do. So I feel like, they could have more cases than they're reporting. They could have less cases than they're reporting. Nobody knows, right? Somebody could go home and like you know have a cough, and then all of a sudden they pass away, and you know they don't know, like say the person that finds them, they don't know if it's COVID or if it was you know something else, so they just say, oh yeah, it's COVID, just because it's the popular thing to say, you know, whatever you want to call it. But you know, so I don't feel like any of these numbers can ever be accurate. But you know, this says here the Spanish flu killed 3 to 5 million people on the first wave, and then it came back and killed 20 to 50 million people after the second one. So, you know, the saying goes, history repeats itself. So if the first wave in Canada killed, I don't know, it's like 15,000 deaths or, you know, something like that, then, you know, you can probably expect more than double that. Granted, it comes back again. Granted, it comes back for a second wave. So, you know, I don't understand the thinking of the government and the people, you know, in power right now. Like, you know, again, I totally understand that you have to restart the economy. I get that. But when it comes to the health and well-being of your citizens, I thought that they would choose the well-being and health of their citizens over restarting the economy. So I just don't really understand the correlation there. You know, there was this clip going around. I think it was from like the governor of New York or something like that. And basically he said like, and like when you're opening, you know, like places like this, when you're opening golf courses, like nannies and maids can go over to clients' houses to clean their house. How does that make any sense? Like, I don't understand that in the slightest. So it's like you're allowing a person that doesn't live there. And were they not just talking about, you know, only like, you know, stay home with, you know, the people that you live with, and if you're experiencing symptoms, you know, not to go out or, you know, anything like that. And I'm pretty sure, I would hope that if you're a nanny or a maid or whatever you are, and you are experiencing symptoms, I would hope that you won't go to your clients' houses and be around their children and be around their clothes and be around their kitchen and, you know, inside their house touching everything. I hope you wouldn't do that. But, you know, it's you're trying to say that it's okay for this person to go to somebody else's house to clean. Like, it just blows my mind. I really don't understand that. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And then, you know, they wonder why it went back up to 460. Well, that's why it went back up to 460. Because you're allowing people, or you're telling people that it's okay to not go back to normal life, but you know, you're showing people that you got excited that it went down to 294. So the people are gonna look at, you know, all these. So the citizens are gonna look at the government, and then they're gonna say, okay, well, the government said that it went down to 294, so everything should be fine. We should be able to go to the beach, and we should be able to go and, you know, clean people's houses, and we should be able to go to the dog park, and we should be able to go and play golf. And it's not that. We're not there yet. We're not there yet at all. And I don't think we will be there for the foreseeable. Like, 2020 is canceled. 2020 is done. Summer of 2020 is finished. You know, they already said that there's going to be no exhibition. You know, and a whole bunch of like other like festivities or celebrations or whatever you want to call it are canceled. So it's like summer is just canceled. 2020 is just canceled, right? The one thing that I wish is that, you know, everything kind of started here in like, I think it was like February or March, something like that. But if it had gotten pushed back, right? So if we got it here in February, but it got pushed back to like November. So if the beginning was in November, then we would, well, math and logic says that you would be further along the line. But then again, would it be further along the line of a second wave, or would it be further along the line of we're actually recovering? So it's like, you don't really know, but you would hope that it would be in the recovery stage, and then you would have hope for, you know, the summer to still be like normal, right? Like whatever that means, because everybody's throwing around that word, these days, the new normal, or whatever you want to call it. But it's like I actually saw this tweet, and I'm actually gonna read it, and it says, "The curve is flattening. We can end lockdown now." Is basically like saying, this parachute has slowed my rate of descent. I can take it off now. Right there is the best comparison like that you can probably come up with right now. It's like, okay, if you jump out of a plane, right, and you're flying down to the ground, pretty fast, right, and you open your parachute, right, the parachute is gonna slow you down. But just because you have slowed down, that doesn't mean you could take off the parachute, right? You take off the parachute when you reach the ground, when you're safe, right? So just because the numbers have gone down a little bit, that doesn't mean we can, go back to normal for it to go back up. So I don't really understand what these guys are doing. And like I said before, I totally understand that you have to restart the economy. I get it. But don't put the health and well-being of your citizens over restarting the economy. That just doesn't make sense to me, because the more people that get sick, probably means the more people are going to pass away. That's just going to create panic. Then the market, who knows, the market might crash again. They're saying that house prices are probably going to go down like 18%. So when you jump the gun, you're avoiding steps, you're skipping steps, and then who knows what's going to happen. There's actually another quote. I believe it was from Warren Buffett. Let me find it. Actually, it was Jordan Peterson. And it says, when things break down, that which has been ignored rushes in. See, so that's exactly what it is. When you skip steps, like, when you cut corners and you take shortcuts, that's why cars have recalls. Like, say for example, let's take Honda, right? When a guy that's doing his job cuts a corner and he says, oh, it can save time, and then all of a sudden some airbag isn't installed properly, then you have to do a recall on all of those cars. That's why they say it was from like 2016 to 2018. Then the people that own those cars have to go through another step to take it back to Honda to get a new car, or for it to be assessed to see if it was one of the affected ones, then to get a replacement, and it just causes more confusion for everybody. So that's why we don't skip steps when it comes to things like that. Well, I mean, really and truly, you shouldn't be skipping steps in general, but when it's something this serious, you should not be skipping steps. Just like how a car manufacturer would not be skipping steps when it comes to airbags. So to kind of round the video off, really and truly, I think it's too early. I think we should be waiting a little bit longer, but the economy has to be restarted in one way or another. But personally, really and truly, I think that at this moment in time, it's a little bit too early. We should have waited another month and then see where the numbers are, and then we go from there. The one thing that I will say that Doug Ford is actually good for, he said that he will not hesitate to reinstate, like close down everything again and go back into the quarantine stage. So, granted the numbers start going up again, which they're already showing that pattern. So, that's one thing I hope that he actually keeps his word on. But other than that, I still think it is, a little bit too early. But, I mean, I guess only time will tell. If I had to make a prediction, I would say probably February of next year is when things are going to be, normal again. Like I said, that word is being thrown around very loosely nowadays. But I would say February, and I would say that's being optimistic. That's the best guess, because then school is canceled and all that kind of stuff. But you also have to look at after August, you go into fall time. And then that's kind of, a gray area. People aren't really doing much. But then, when you get into the holidays, I feel like they're going to want to open the malls for the holidays once again to restart the economy. And then people are obviously going to be going over to their friends and relatives, house for holidays and Christmas and, whatever religious holiday you celebrate. And then, you know, we might see a little bit of a spike in that because people are going to say, okay, well, I don't want to miss Christmas, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. Then, you know, who really knows what's going to happen? But like I said, February is my best guess, and that's being optimistic. But you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. It's very much appreciated. All relevant links are down below. It was kind of a, you know, off the whim video this week, but you know, regardless, I do hope you enjoyed. And yeah, thanks for watching. Talk to you next one.